Right now at 8, election night 2024. Results are beginning to come in as voters weigh in on the presidential race. We'll take you live to the candidates' campaign headquarters and tell you where the count stands right now. Plus, long lines for some voters in the tri-state area, making sure their voices are heard tonight. We have team coverage of the races that impact you and your family. Also, we take a closer look at the key congressional districts in New York that could affect the balance of power. We're live at the campaign headquarters for Congressman Mike Lawler, Mondaire Jones, and many more. Good evening to you. I'm Christine Johnson. Tonight, America decides. From our local elections to the presidential race, CBS News New York is following results in the tri-state area and nationwide. Here's a live look at headquarters for both presidential candidates tonight. Vice President Harris is watching the results come in at Howard University in Washington, D.C. And former President Donald Trump is in West Palm Beach near his Mar-a-Lago resort. As each vote is counted, our team is spread out across New York and New Jersey, covering all of the big races here locally. We'll bring you live reports and, of course, the latest numbers. And just in this last minute or so, polls did officially close in New Jersey and Connecticut. Voters in New York, well, they've got another hour to cast their ballots. And here's a live look at a polling location in Ditmas Park, Brooklyn. Polls in the city open until 9 p.m. Anyone waiting in line at 9 will be allowed to stay in line until they cast their vote. In the race for the White House, here's where the Electoral College map stands right now. As polls have closed in several states around the country, this map here shows the states CBS News projects Harris has won and also Trump has won. The states in white are where the polls have closed, so that those results should be coming in soon. So do remember, the candidates must secure 270. That is the magical number. 270 electoral votes to win the presidency. And we're going to bring you some live reports from the presidential candidates' headquarters coming up. But first, let's touch on our local races. And we have just learned of a lawsuit that was filed in New Jersey to extend voting hours. State Attorney General Matt Platkin says that he filed the suit to extend voting hours by 1 hour. That would mean 9 p.m. in Burlington County. Now to the New Jersey Senate race as we continue to follow that breaking news. Replacing former Senator Bob Menendez after his conviction. These are the two candidates. Democrat Andy Kim facing Republican Curtis Bashaw. New Jersey reporter Christine Sloan is live with Kim's campaign in Cherry Hill. She's been following this race for months now. Christine?
Well, Christine, we're told that Andy Kim is in the building here at headquarters. His campaign telling me he is confident he'll win this race because several polls showed him leading his Republican challenger. But of course, nothing is for certain until all the votes are counted. If elected, the Democrat Andy Kim would be the first Asian American to represent New Jersey in the U.S. Senate. He fought hard to get to this point, going to federal court to change New Jersey's primary ballot system. Soon after his main challenger in the primary, First Lady Tammy Murphy, the governor's wife, dropped out of the race. Kim says he already has experience in Washington, D.C., and that he's running for the seat convicted former Senator Bob Menendez vacated to bring trust and integrity to government.
We live in the time of the greatest amount of distrust in government in modern American history. 84% of people in New Jersey surveyed believe that their politicians are corrupt. That was exactly why I stepped up. I did not plan to run for Senate. This was not something I had in the cards, but I felt it was important to give the people of New Jersey a choice.
Kim's campaign tells me that once a winner is projected, he will come here and talk to us. And of course, with the latest news out of Burlington County, it's unclear when a winner will be announced. I know back during the Democratic primary, he came out 15 minutes after the polls closed. We're live in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Christine Sloan, CBS News New York.
Okay, Christine, let's visit the other side of this campaign. Bashaw's campaign party gathering tonight in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, and that is where we find Doug Williams. He joins us now there live with an update. Doug, how are folks feeling there?
Christine, it's been sort of a surprisingly optimistic vibe here at Bashaw's headquarters this evening, especially, and I say surprising, because of the polling numbers coming in to election night down double digits to Andy Kim. Now, Bashaw told me earlier this evening, as we await any type of projection from CBS News, that he believes New Jersey is going to surprise some people tonight. He's saying his voters include independents and Democrats who are voting for him in the Senate and voting for Kamala Harris for the presidency. And just some background for you. It's been 11 years since the state elected a new U.S. senator, now doing so because of the federal bribery conviction of Bob Menendez. This is his seat. New Jersey hasn't elected a Republican to the Senate in more than 50 years. Bashaw's pitch to voters has focused on immigration, securing the southern border, as well as tax cuts, helping out small businesses. He's a Cape May native, a businessman, not a politician, a hotel developer. And though he said he does support former President Trump, he describes himself as a moderate, noting that he's an openly gay man, supports abortion rights. But again, here in Basking Ridge, we will bring you the very latest in terms of whether Curtis Bashaw will speak. This is also the headquarters for Tom Kean Jr. in his congressional race, a key congressional race in the state of New Jersey against Democrat Sue Altman. We're keeping an eye on both, and as soon as either or both candidates speak, we'll bring that to you, Christine.
Sounds good, Doug. Thank you. Let's move on now to a hotly contested race in New York's 17th congressional district. Control of the House of Representatives could be at stake as Republican Congressman Mike Lawler faces Democratic challenger Mondaire Jones. Tony Aiello covers the northern suburbs for us, and he's live at Mike Lawler's campaign in New City, Rockland County. Tony, it was hard not to see a commercial about this race these past few months.
$40 million in combined spending from the campaigns and outside groups in this race, Christine, really unprecedented. So here at this scene here tonight, a casually dressed Mike Lawler stopped by to say hi to the press corps around 6:30, and then he went home to change into his suit. He soon will be back here at the Paramount Country Club. Lawler feels that momentum has shifted in his direction in recent days, and in fact, the Cook Political Report has moved this race from toss-up status to leans Republican. The first-term congressman voted this morning at a Rockland church while holding daughter Juliana. She's now a big sister. Lawler and his wife Doina welcomed the birth of Elizabeth Rose Lawler last week. Lawler campaigned as a common-sense Republican who often works across the aisle, especially with Congressman Josh Gottheimer of Bergen County. Millions of dollars in attack ads portrayed Lawler as a threat to abortion rights. He has promised to oppose a national ban. Lawler won in a stunning upset 2 years ago. Republicans see holding this seat as key to keeping control of the House of Representatives. Lawler picked up endorsements from some influential Hasidic rabbis in recent weeks that should help him here in Rockland County. This district covers all of Rockland, all of Putnam, northern Westchester, and southeastern Dutchess counties. The polls close at 9. We'll have results pretty soon, Christine.
We sure will, Tony, and we'll be there to cover it all. Thank you. Lawler's challenger, Mondaire Jones, is expected to be at a restaurant in Nanuet, and that is where we find Alice Gaynor with more on the Joneses campaign there tonight. Alice?
Christine, Mondaire Jones and supporters are supposed to stop here at this Mexican restaurant before then heading to a watch party in Westchester County. Jones himself voted early on October 26th in Peekskill. Now, Democrats do believe this is a seat they can flip. There are more Democratic voters here in this district, but remember, it was redistricted, and in 2022, the outcome was decided by just over 1,800 votes. In 2020, Jones was elected the congressman here in District 17 before it was redistricted. He then moved to Brooklyn to run there in 2022 and lost. He voted yes for Proposition 1, the Equal Rights Amendment to enshrine the right to abortion in the New York Constitution. He also wants a ban on assault weapons. During a debate on CBS News New York, he said he was open to the idea of term limits for Supreme Court justices. Again, his campaign says he will be stopping here first in Nanuet, that's Rockland County, and then moving on over to a watch party in Westchester. We hope to hear from him sometime soon. Christine?
Okay, Alice, thank you for that update. Political reporter Marcia Kramer joins me now, along with political consultant O'Brien Murray and attorney and assistant professor, University of Mount St. Vincent, J.C. Polanco. Welcome, everyone. It's an historic night here in the tri-state area.
Thanks for having us. Great place to be.
So looking forward to this discussion tonight. Marcia, we've been talking a lot tonight about balance of power. So New York's District 4, Nassau County, another race that could impact the balance of power in Congress. How is that looking tonight? And really, this is a rematch.
So yes, it is. Former Hempstead Town Supervisor Laura Gillen is trying to unseat Congressman Anthony D'Esposito. Now, Obi and JC, I'm wondering if the questions that were raised about D'Esposito's ethics of putting his mistress and his fiance's daughter on the payroll will play a role. Obi, why don't you go first?
It'll definitely play a role, especially in Nassau County. There's a county where the county executive was indicted and found guilty before, and there was a corruption issue in Nassau County that was cleaned up relatively so, and then all of a sudden this came back up again, and she won for town supervisor as a result of the original corruption stories that were going on there.
JC.
I think Obi's right for once.
It's early, JC.
The truth is, look, not only is abortion on the ballot, women are activated in this district. For you to hear that a sitting Congress member did this kind of unethical behavior is bothersome, not to mention the constant bombardment and ads that you were getting. But let's not forget, that district has a history of voting Democrat. So I'm looking at this congressman, and I know that he is the underdog walking into this election.
He's had a target on his back since the moment he was elected. But bigger than that, I think, Marcia, I think we have to look at this for the overall
But this really
state.
affects the balance of power.
It does, but beyond that, if he's supposed to win by 10 points or more, according to polling and everything else, and if it ends up being a 2 or 3 point race, that tells you that Trump is carrying him and others
So
across
are you
the
calling
state.
this for him?
I'm not calling
Not
for him.
quite.
I'm saying that
He's just
I'm saying that if he's supposed to win by a big margin and lose by a big margin and loses by a few, she has to win big for it to stay on track for what expectations are.